Hello everybody, my name's Swicey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about if going for the soul on Thor is really worth it or not, and how you should go about doing it if you're actually interested. So to begin with, I have decided actually to go ahead and go for Thor's soul instead of Freya, only because there's a lot of champions somewhat similar to Freya and what I need within Freya. What I need Freya for is this ability right here, and there's quite a few other champions that have something similar, so I'm just going to wait till I get one of them or get her to actually use it. But for me, the 5-star soul on Thor is actually much more valuable than going for her, at least right now. I'm sure eventually it would pay off for me to go for her, but right now the value is just so much higher going for a soul. But if we go ahead and look at my Thor build right now, it's actually really solid. I just need to change up a few things, pick up the crit damage here, finish out the crit damage here, change this to attack and change this to attack, and then really that's all I have to do. Throw a few speed glyphs on and this build is really solid. I don't have his masteries yet, I don't have much of his stuff done, but he's still hitting insanely hard, and as soon as I have him fully built, I'll be doing a full video on him, as well as I'll soon be doing a video on Falmond as well, because I did pull him this morning while going for Thor's soul. So from what you guys can see, I'm clearly going for it and I find it very valuable for my account. But why is it so valuable and should you specifically go for it? So if we look at my account, we do have Razzle here, and I'm basing it off of Razzle's power and how much it has changed since I've gotten his 5-star soul. So on Razzle, I have him 5-star soul. I have him a somewhat similar build to what Thor is. Now his build is better than Thor's. Granted, he does have a much higher soul and everything, but getting this 5-star soul took him from really good to being absolutely insane. And if we look at Brutal, this was my most previous key, my most recent one. Razzle doing 320 million on Brutal is really solid, and before this I was running him in hard and he was only doing about 250 to 300 there. Now it's taking up a whole difficulty and still doing more than he did before. I am very happy with it, and Thor hits stupidly hard. So if we keep in mind that Razzle is doing what he is, and I'm pretty sure Thor hits just a little bit harder, maybe not after Razzle scales all the way, but regardless, they are going to be a great combo for my account. Getting that soul is going to change a lot. So for you, you could look at it as it's just a huge boost to Thor. Now you can always come back and buy Thor's soul, and that was kind of what I was thinking about when I originally was going to go for Freya over him, is how you can just over time buy the soul, and yes, that is true, but it just takes so long, and the power that I'm looking for is right now, not 4 months in the future. And it would have to be him showing up in the soul market a bunch of times, me ignoring who I was purchasing before, and it's just a whole lot of work that I'm not willing to go into for his soul, because I can just get it right now. Now, if you actually want to go for it, right now is the best time to start. You're going to be getting a lot of points from this event, and there's only about 200 points leeway, so I would recommend picking up the 100 points from here. If you can pick up a few books, that's great, but you don't need to. Just get to this 100 points and you can call it quits. So from here alone, you're getting 200, and then when you go and do the Odin event, that's an extra like 100, and that can already start you at the 2-star soul, which is 700 attack. And if you can't get to the 4-star or the 5-star, getting to the 2-star is the next best thing. It's 700 attack and is very important for a good build on one of your nukers. So if you are looking to just boost your Hydra, if you're looking to boost your Fire Knight hard, if you're looking to boost any of your dungeons, I would say go for it as soon as possible. Invest as much as you can into it. I know we're coming out of a fusion, and as you can see, I am very low on resources, as everyone else is right now. For the most part, obviously there's some people who have thousands of resources, but the average person is going to be pretty low down on their resources at the moment and will be building that back up. And what sucks is with this soul, we're going to have to be spending those resources as we get them immediately, basically, and it's just a lot of work. So if you're not looking to do all that work and you just want to get a bunch of stuff at once, I would say go for Freya. You're going to get a fantastic champion, a bunch of extra resources, and probably a few points into here as you just play the game, and just like I said, getting the 2-star soul is very, very valuable. Now, if you want to really see what the 5-star soul can do, I will be sure to be putting out a video once I get it on Thor and showing what it really does. It is insanely strong, and Nature's Wrath is the best one for him until you get to Crushing Rend. At that point, Crushing Rend becomes stronger for most builds, but there's some times where Nature's Wrath is actually going to be better at 6-star because it's just a straight up 30% damage increase. And ignoring an extra, I think it's like 15% defense for me is all it would be, because I ignore like 85% in his current build. It might not be worth it to go for Crushing Rend. I'll leave that up to you guys. But that is my basic rundown of if you should go for it, what the benefits are, and kind of how you should go about it. I would highly recommend starting now. If you can't start now, you can't miss anything after this, because 200 points are here. You only have 200 leeway. You got to start now, or as soon as this ends you have to do absolutely everything, which just gives you such little room to work with. Now, if you're struggling with the event dungeon, I will try to be looking at some different teams you can be able to do for maybe stage 20 or something, but at least at stage 30 there isn't too many super accessible teams that I'm aware of. All of them at least need 2 newts or like a newt and a Marius, and in general that might not be that workable for you guys. This is my current team. It's really consistent. I haven't seen it lose more than like once, and that was only because Venus didn't land her decreased defense. If that doesn't land, you're pretty much screwed. But what I have here works most of the time and will get me done with this event pretty quickly. Outside of that, guys, I don't have too many tips for doing this dungeon right now. Just look around YouTube, as I don't have any good videos out on it right now. All of the teams that I've suggested are very pay to win, and ones that most people probably won't be able to do. But I do believe Hell Hades has put out a decent one for stage 20, and I do know of a team where I believe it's Newt and Ugo, maybe Seer or something. I don't know. I think a Seer team is one of the most common ones. It's just running Seer with a few other things. I don't know if maybe those will show up here. No, these are just going to be very pay to win teams. Okay, yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm sure there is a plethora of videos out there on how to do this dungeon. It's honestly where I'm least knowledgeable in the game, is in this dungeon. Then again, I feel like that's for a lot of people because, well, none of us have gotten to do it too much. I would say that this dungeon isn't that good. Like, yes, the gear set is very strong, but after farming it for as much as I have, I feel like you just don't get enough from it. I maybe have 3 or 4 actual usable pinpoint pieces after all this farming, and that really isn't good. I wouldn't be farming it if you guys don't usually have a decent amount of stuff on your account. It's just, there's stone skin out there and there's other things that can help out some of your champions, but the rates just aren't good. But yeah, that's just my general look on the Thor event, on the Freya event, which one you should do, a few thoughts on the Odin dungeon. But outside of that, guys, I don't want to waste any more of your time. If you have enjoyed this video, if you had learned anything from it, consider liking, subscribing. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys.